Wow, I'm pretty surprised that a brand like Hyte that made that really cool Y60 case suddenly makes audio products. This is the Eclipse HG10, a wireless headset that I've been using and I kind of fell in love with it. So I've identified the pros and cons to make it real easy for you to decide whether this is worth your time or not. First pro for me is the style. This is actually hella stylish and it felt like a very durable, solid gaming headset. It's made out of a matte finish. You can see the Hyte branding on the side. That's about it on the left. It has vegan leather ear cushions from the sides, and of course where our head rests, there's a very cushiony vegan leather place here. And it uses a steel band that goes all the way through, and it's encased in plastic. And I was really worried because these types of headsets kind of gives me a little PTSD when you give it a little stretch. But surprisingly, this was very flexible. As for the rest of the style, I'm really digging the two-tone off-white gray palette. And even on the steel bands itself, there are little etches here where you can see the phases of the moon and the model number on the other side, which is the HG10, so it's just 10. It's got a lot of buttons. There is your usual power button, a volume slider, which is pretty unusual these days. People just go for buttons. There is a USB-C port, which will be used for charging, but not wired connectivity. So for wireless connectivity, you'll be using this dongle. But the cool thing is that it's charge and play. So even when you run out of battery, which is rated at 30 hours as of my use, I've used this for more than a day already, you can plug this into your desktop or your laptop, but you still need to keep the dongle on. So that's already my con. Because what if I don't want to use wireless? What if I just want that USB-C connected goodness? Why, guys? You should have made it wireless and wired. It's got a unidirectional detachable mic, which is another pro. And the mic was actually surprisingly decent. I would just say decent. It's not the best that I've used because at this price point, you might not get a lot of great options. This is a sound test for the Eclipse HG10 wireless gaming headset. I need to buy more ammunition. There are enemies at the middle tower. This is a very ridiculous script. Thank you for listening and wasting 20 seconds of your life. And if you're wondering, the size of this headset, it's no bigger than a wireless mouse. 40 millimeter neodymium magnet drivers. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's just for the size because, other gaming headsets tend to be a little bigger because you want to keep some headroom, but this is a little tighter. And the vegan leather cushions actually created a really good seal. I couldn't hear the external sounds too much. So this can really give you some distraction-free time to listen to some music, play your games, talk to your friends, or go for your Zoom calls. But here's where the con starts. For audio playback, I wouldn't say this was made for it. Fair enough, because it is designated to be a wireless gaming headset. So how I would describe audio playback on this is, it's a very strange combination of flat with heightened treble and kind of wet bass. So when I listen to songs that are vocal strong, it kind of gets drowned in the bass a bit. When I listen to EDM, the bass gets kind of muddled and I don't get to hear the rest of the synthetic melodies. So I don't really have a big problem with this because, this is again designated to be a wireless gaming headset. So come on, just play games with it. Talking to my friends on Discord, it's pretty fine. My friends could hear me just well, and as I was playing games, in-game sounds, like if you're playing Warzone, you're trying to listen to enemy footsteps, or you're just trying to find out where your enemies are shooting from. The audio profile is alright. I guess that's where the wet bass kind of comes in. It sounds nicer than ordinary bass. So things like gunfire does sound a little nice. I guess the only last thing I want to say is just add Bluetooth or make a Bluetooth version of this Hyte. Listening to music on this while walking the streets is really stylish. I mean, I'm using style to justify creating another variant of this, but come on, you gotta admit that these do look like a really good looking pair of headphones. Maybe go to 5 gigahertz, maybe we could benefit from more channels, but of course this is a much more simplified product that only uses the very baseline of network requirements. So 2.4 gigahertz, 3 channels, I guess it's fine for now. And this dongle do be big though. And what is with needing to buy a separate adapter for using this on a Nintendo Switch? Should have just included it. And the price. I'm guessing it's gonna be about in the 400 ringgit range. So I actually do think that this is a legitimately good product if you wanna have a nice, stylish wireless gaming headset. Again, it's not particularly made or tuned for a good audio experience, but it does fairly well in chatting with your friends and listening to some in-game sounds. Thank you guys for watching. This has been my review of the Hyte Eclipse HG10 headset.